Hey everybody, how's it going? Well, that worked. So it's before bed. I thought I would do another tutorial to test things out. You know, the thing is if you're not used to doing something live or not used to doing something, do it in front of an audience, do it live, just just do it. Practice always makes progress, and this is my practice. The all day long, I use one single program more than anything, and that's Ecamm Live. It's Mac software, but it allows me to either live stream, like you're seeing this right now. I'm live streaming this right now. What I'm saying is I'm live streaming this on my YouTube channel, my Matt Berry Tech YouTube channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. You can find it at YouTube/Matt Berry Tech or at Matt Berry Tech. I'll have to put a link up here. So that's my next task. The other thing is if you're, this is also broadcasting to Facebook, so you're probably seeing that as well. It's going to my main Facebook page and another page that I have as well, kind of like a business page. But the truth be told, Ecamm Live, and there is a description below for a referral link for this. You could try it free for 14 days. I'm telling you, I love it. I use it all the time. And some of the reasons I use it for, not necessarily to stream, but Ecamm Live gives you the ability to, as you know, like I've set this scene up, right? I've got a real nice camera. I've got a layout. I can have some text in front of it, graphics. But I can make this a virtual camera and a virtual microphone that will allow me to connect to Zoom, Teams, really any application. I did a call today with Google Meet, and I was able to use this exact same setup on there. It makes consistent video, and it makes for great audio as well. And you can do really cool effects if you ever need to. Yeah. So that's the thing. I use this for so many tools because not only can I use it for live streaming, I can use it as a virtual camera for Zoom, and then I can also record it. So if I'm trying to do training or content, I can set up all the scenes, share a screen, and do a tutorial, have it recorded for me, pretty much ready to go. And then I can upload it anywhere I need to, probably make a couple edits if I really need to, but it's my go-to for anything audio, video related. Live stream, virtual camera, and definitely recording on the fly. So I'm gonna give a quick demo on this. I'm gonna do a longer, more structured demo on Ecamm Live, but right now I'm just gonna walk through some of the basics. I've got Ecamm right now set up on a secondary Mac. Hey, how's it going? And I have this, what you're seeing on the screen over here is, this is Ecamm Live on my MacBook Air. And I have it, I'm just gonna make sure everything's muted. It is. So, this is in live demo mode, so I can actually show you the entire screen. And yeah, this is the FaceTime camera that you're seeing on the MacBook Air. I'm just gonna see if I can stretch this camera out just to make this a little bigger as I go through this. Echo, turn off the hair light. That's that ring light behind me. There we go. That'll be a little bit better. So I'll walk through a few of these things. Right here in the upper left-hand corner, this is the default scene that I'm in. Whatever it's labeled, this is it. If I wanted to, I could drop down, I could select different scenes if I had to, or show a scene window. We'll get into that a little bit more later. And then in the red right here, this shows me any kind of output that's happening. Right now, NDI out, that's what I'm actually sending. I'm able to send this out over my local network, so my other computer can pick up this whole feed and monitor, excuse me, and act as a separate camera. And then right here, I have the virtual camera and virtual mic turned on. So that gives me the ability when I open up Zoom, I can just select the Ecamm virtual camera and Ecamm virtual mic. And all of the settings that I set up in here will work on Zoom. It's really awesome. Now, when I click over here, right towards the middle, the first area that you see is the selector scene that allows you, if you wanted to do stream, you could turn this on, and you'll see that you've got another box that pops up in the lower right-hand corner over here. And that basically allows you to create a new stream. We'll get into that in a second as well. And any upcoming streams you have, and this upcoming stream is the one that I'm currently doing right now. We're not going to touch that or that button and see if I hover over it. It shows where I'm actually sending this current stream that I'm doing right now. It's going to Facebook, 2 sessions to Facebook and 1 to YouTube. But I'm not going to touch that. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to go over here and just set it to just record. And if you notice, if I turn off recording, I don't have to touch anything with Ecamm. Everything I'm doing is going out through a virtual camera. And if I just want to do record only and don't want to do a virtual camera, I can just turn that off. And you see over in the red how the virtual camera and the virtual microphone turn themselves off. I'm going to go ahead and switch that back. And right over here where we've got a little camera, a monitor, and video, this is our source. And typically we can either have a blank screen, go to a camera. We can select another screen if we wanted to, like a screen share. Or we can actually pick a video file to show, and you would have seen something like that in the intro I did earlier. And this shows you what version you have of the license. Whoa, I've got barking corgis over here. But it shows I've got the Pro license. There's also a standard one. The biggest thing is if you click the link in the description, that referral link, if you've never had Ecamm before, if you've got a Mac, give it a try. You can try the Pro for 14 days. I'm telling you, it is definitely worth it. Now, if we move over on the right-hand side, you'll see a bunch of little switchers over here. Hi. I do this late at night and my dogs are going to growl. But right over here up at the top, this is your camera switcher. We can turn it off and on, and you can see it is right down here below. This is where any additional cameras that you might have. Guys, can't you do that in the other room? So any additional cameras that you have would show over here, and you can make this. I have to close this window out just a little bit. There we go. It's just getting in the way. But anyways, I can control the size. It's the worst when you're trying to do this and do it on a trackpad. I should have just connected a mouse to this thing, which I'll have to do a little bit later. There we go. We're tracking that a little bit. So we can, if you have any additional cameras, any other webcams or whatnot, you can go through and select those as you need to, and you can even resize and make this as big or as small as you need to. And we're going to test out that. The cool thing is, if you've got an iPhone, and right now, the Ecamm works on Macs, but if you have a Mac that has Ventura, the latest Mac operating system, and if you have an iPhone 11 or later with iOS 16, yeah, you can use continuity camera on these things. I have a Belkin continuity camera holder, which allows me to mount this right on the back. It just clicks right on here for MagSafe. And I am going to unlock the phone. And one cool little security feature, so I don't get annoyed by this all the time, I can turn on, there's a little click to start that will turn on my continuity camera. So I'm going to turn that on. Is it working? Yeah. Make sure it's unlocked. Should be ready to go. Let's try it one more time. Come on. Let's switch that camera. Doing things live. Come on. There we go. It just took a sec. All right. I'll put that right up on top. All right. That'll work. There we go. So this is the iPhone camera using continuity camera. So that way you can use multiple cameras if you need to. So here's my FaceTime camera. And then here's my iPhone camera. Look at that. It's super cool. And you can also take other features of the Mac's built-in video effects as well. So we're going to close down the camera switcher because so we know how to do that. It also gives you the ability to, if you have multiple ones, you can set up a camera A. Like let's set FaceTime as my camera A. We're going to have a slowdown, of course. Come on. Whatever stops the show, and you just keep on rolling. And then camera B, we're going to switch to my iPhone camera. All right, that works out perfect. So then as I'm doing scenes, I can just do a camera A and a camera B. That's one of the latest features in the newest update, version 4.0. So that works out really well. I can set up a camera A and a camera B. And then as I'm doing scenes, if I have to select the camera, that's what I can just do. And then later on, if I add another webcam, I can, if I needed to, I can position that as a camera A or an extra camera. The next one, we have our, this is our text and overlays. So if I wanted to, you've got different, like if I wanted to put an image, if I wanted to do an animated overlay, like an animated GIF or something like that, throw over that, I could. If I wanted to just do an overlay of another monitor, if I wanted to type in text, we'll do real generic. This is a test. And you can change the font. You can add a background. You can change the corners of the background. Let's see. Let's change the background and make it a, let's see, come on. It's only giving me, there we go, RGB sliders. Yeah, of course. I haven't tried this, but yeah, you can definitely make a colored background. So we're just going to add that on there. And then, so you've got test, test. You've got a text, and you also have the ability as well as you add text like this. I wrote this is a test, and what happens? Let's see. So we've got the ability of a drop shadow. That's perfect. I don't think we can do anything else other than that. Perfect. We're just going to save it. Okay. So this allows us to do text. We can do a countdown timer. The same thing as adding text. So if I'm going to change this background. Well, I changed the text. I will make this purple, and we'll change the background. We're going to make that green. So that way, I could do a countdown timer, and I would use a countdown timer like this, really similar to this, that when the countdown's over, I can simply change the scene, move on to the next scene. So things like that work out real well. I can do a web widget, which allows me to actually put a web page on there. I can do a video camera. So let's say if I wanted to have a little pop out. Here we go. So I can make sure I'm selecting the FaceTime HD camera or camera A. I can make that wide. I can make it a square. I can move it over there. So this works out really well. Just with overlays, you can put text, you can have lower thirds, you can put images, graphics, even transparent video files, or just have a video file right in front of you. You can have all kinds of screen shares. It's perfect for tutorials. And then the other great thing when you're working on a Mac like this, and the touchpad, it's like, wait, which mouse am I using? Am I using this? Am I using my trackpad? But the beauty of all of this stuff, any of these overlays, any of these widgets, you can show them and you can hide them however you need to. So that is the text and overlay area. Now the next area is sound. So whatever microphone you might have, like this one, the built-in MacBook Air, which we're not really using right now, or this microphone into my audio system. You can go super basic with a built-in. You can have a headphone, a headset, any type of mic you can connect to. AirPods, I've done those before as well. So you could get as really basic with it or as fancy as you need to. and it works out. It handles everything really well. So if you're doing a screen share, if you're doing a video, you can control the sound effects for the movie or for the system. Any of the audio that's basically coming in, you can control the levels of that. And if you're not using any kind of headset or whatever, you can do echo cancellation to help. But I always recommend when you're live streaming, it's always best to have this audio come in to here so it doesn't create any kind of echo. So that's super important. I'm gonna take a second, just a second, because I want to check. There we go. All right. So that was the sound levels. And then the next one is that when you're dealing with multiple cameras or dealing with any kind of camera at all, it's always great to have some camera effects. And that little wand right over there does take you to camera effects. So we're going to switch, because right now I'm on camera B. Let's see. I do have myself on camera B, right? And then, so if I change the brightness, see, this allows me to really kind of fine tune if I need to any of the settings on the camera. It allows me to control if I have a green screen behind me, I can turn that feature on. If I'm not using a green screen, and I'm using a blue screen, I can adjust that as well. Change the fading, and I can throw an image or a movie behind me, all from the camera effects. I can zoom and pan, and this is a really cool feature. If you only have, let's get over here. Hold on a second. I'm not on the right camera. I'm just going to go over here on there we go. So even if you had multiple cameras on here, or just like one, you can set up different scenes with zooming and panning and make it look like you have a bunch of different camera angles. It works out really well. So yeah, using the zoom and pan feature, it's super helpful. You can go through and change all the settings. You can also mirror it. You can change it to black and white, which is similar to if you just went over here to saturation and just remove the saturation. Black and white. You can do, yeah, there we go. Black and white. And the sepia, am I pronouncing that right? Sepia tone. And you can have a blur effect. This is going to be counterproductive because I already have a blur effect going on. But if you didn't have a blur effect going on the computer on the Mac, this blur effect would work out really well. And you can adjust the blur if you need to, but that kind of blurs the whole camera out. This is really good if you're doing an intro scene and you're just kind of jamming out to the background while you got a timer in front of you, something like that. That's where that blur effect will also work, because it blurs out the whole freaking camera in front of you and everything. If you can make sure it's using make sure your camera is using the highest resolution possible. Sometimes I always forget to check that. So like, even if you have like a Logitech C920 or something like that, unless you check that, it won't guarantee that it's just jumping up to the highest resolution it'll do. So I always recommend that. Make sure you're doing it. And if you're doing any vertical video, or if your camera's tilted over to the side, you can rotate it just like that. You can rotate it any way you want. And then if you like the way this setting is, you can set it up for all of the scenes that this camera uses. And if you are really into cameras and photography and all this other stuff, and when you bring in your photos or you're bringing in your video and you have a special lookup table to get the colors right for your scene, you have a LUT, you can add LUTs into the camera effects. But camera effects, super important. Hard to tweak when you're on the fly doing a video, but hey, it's a good skill to learn, and you can definitely tweak your settings, your camera settings, and make it look good. The other thing as well is the sound effects panel. Ecamm throws a few sound effects in here, some real generic ones. We've got applause. I don't even know if that's going through. Oh, it's not, because this is what I'm playing. We can do applause here. But if you have any music files you want to add, you can drop it in here. Any MP3 files, you can just drop it in here. Add that to a scene and set it up and play. That's how I had my intro going as well. So that's your sound effects area. This one right here, this is the comments and reactions. So if you're doing a live video, I don't have any right now, guys. It's probably because it's so late. But The thing is, what's super cool is that when you are going live, this comment and reaction area, this will take live comments. So anybody that is commenting or reacting with thumbs up or hearts or whatever, that's all going to show up right down here in the comments and reactions. So that's super cool and handy. And again, when you're moderating, when you're doing these things live by yourself, it's a hard task to multitask and pay attention to the comments and reactions. So it's definitely a muscle that you want to flex and get used to. Practice makes progress. So definitely try that. And then the other one as well, especially with the Pro, you get interview mode. So we can turn that on right now. You get the ability to somewhat customize the interview experience, like how basically it's like a Google Chrome plugin that you could send a link out to whoever you want to join your live. So if you're doing a live call, you can give them the invite link. They can connect to you, and then you can have control. You'll be able to add their camera and sound. If they're screen sharing, you can add that too. It works out really well, but we're not going to focus on that right now. And then the last thing, which honestly is the most important thing, as I work on doing a full-fledged tutorial on Ecamm Live, it's important to go over all of these settings. But you can really fine-tune it to meet your needs. You can, this is where your account goes, but you have the ability to control the stream that you're sending out. Like you can you do the stream size anywhere really super low, as high as 4K. If you have 4K cameras and you have the bandwidth to support it, you can do 4K broadcasts, multiple 4K broadcasts. For this one right now, and typically most of them that I do, they're all HD 1080p. And okay, everything's working. It's like whenever I click a button, I just want to make sure that everything else is working. But we have the stream size where we can change it to wide, where it is right now, ultra wide if we were doing 4K and we wanted that look. We can do a classic TV size, 4:3, and we could do a square like Instagram, and then we could do a tall vertical one. So if we are going to do a live video to Instagram or something like that, if we wanted to record a short that we would wind up using, yeah, you could do it however you want. You could even plug in 360 cams. I've never tried it, but and then you can change the frame rate that you're sending out. This one that I'm sending out is at 30 frames per second. We're just going to change that. Boop. And then typically I always use high quality video mode, and you could choose high quality audio mode. And the other cool thing is right down here, it will give you, Ecamm does a really great job at testing, giving you a visual indicator if you're good, if you can actually do live streams or not. So if like normally I'll do 2 streams. So for me doing 2 streams at 1080, I need at least 11.5 megs up and down, consistent. That way I can do it. I far exceed that normally. So I know I can do a lot more streams than 2 if I need to. But I did speed result. It's the I got over 700. That's good. But still, as long as you're exceeding the 11, you'll do okay. I mean, that's the thing is like, as long as you're not doing like 10 broadcasts to all different kind, and they're all 4K. But if you adjust it, it'll tell you what your speed is. You can go to some of your recording settings, and this is awesome. Because if you wanted to record this, let's say if you were going to take this video and make it a tutorial later on, you have the ability, and if you wanted to just edit, let's say if you're recording this or you were doing it live and you're going to repurpose it later, you have the ability of recording isolated video tracks. So if you have set up camera A, camera B, or maybe you've got guest interviews, you can set to record those videos separately. So after the recording, you can go through, not only will you have the recording of the whole broadcast that you did, but you will also have a separate video file for camera number 1, separate one for camera number 2. And then if you really want to edit those, you can sync those up and, make a clear one. Maybe when you were doing a live broadcast, it didn't switch to the right camera at the right time and you want to edit it and make it look really good. We have the ability to do that. And you can choose your video recording, all this other jazz. Your video destinations. This is where you go through and you can click new destinations to go to Amazon Live, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn Live, a lot. We'll go into video. Just a little essentials here. You got where you've got your interview mode. What you want things to happen during your screen sharing, shortcuts, and if there are any remote controls. Like I use a Stream Deck, but that's it really. So that goes through a majority of the settings, but there are a ton of more of them that I skipped out on. So simply, like if you were doing this and you weren't streaming at all, it's just simply as easy as hitting this record button and you're recording. You're recording. So if you wanted to, you could record everything that's going, a quick video message, you could screen share. When that's done, you finish it, you end recording, and then it'll pop up and ask if you want to show the file. So this will take you directly to where the file is. I'll show you that in a second. If you want to send it directly to YouTube or edit into script, that's another AI tool that's super great. It takes it over there where you can do a little overdubbing, get a transcript, all this other stuff at a cost, but that is a cool little feature. So we'll go to show file, and here's the video right here. I just did the single video. But you can open this up, you can edit it, you can tweak it however you like. It's just super, super effective. So I'm just going to end this really quick with, in summary, honestly, I'm saying, in summary, I don't even know where the scenes are. So I'm just going to talk right now until I kind of figure out, I'm like, where did I put the scenes? Matt, where did I put the scenes? I'm going over here because I need to show my scenes again. There we go. I'm just going to go back to camera number 1. But bottom line, I'm just going to summarize the whole thing with Ecamm Live. It takes a lot to record video, get the audio right where everything is sounding really great. And Ecamm Live lets you do it all in one place. You can stream live to Facebook and YouTube at the same time. You can record your videos and edit them later. So if you're not just doing a podcast where you're talking all there, but you can include a video element as well and add graphics and whatnot. You can do all of the stuff in Ecamm Live. You can record the video, you could record the podcast, edit it a little bit and put it out on streaming. And then on YouTube, you can take the exact same podcast as a video podcast with that video element and upload it. So whether you're live streaming, just recording content or tutorials, or let's say you want to act as a virtual camera just to make your Zooms really pop, or make your Teams video calls look really, really good, or let's say you're trying to kill it at a podcast. Ecamm Live will do it all for you. I appreciate you guys tuning in live on this one. This is just a preview because coming over the weekend, I'm going to work on a larger in-depth tutorial and do some really cool things with Ecamm. Well, that's it. If you want to check out Ecamm, look at the description below. There's a link, my referral link you can try Ecamm for 14 days. Telling you, you guys are going to love it. Have an amazing day. Bye, guys.